Hello everyone, my name is Joy Adedeji. Welcome to NABN TV Red Carpet event. Today we're in Vegas, Las Vegas baby. We're here because GCI, Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association North America, are having the Endo event tonight. The Endo event is usually a 3-day event, and tonight's dinner party is the grand finale. The Endo represents going to prom for the graduates of GCI. It also represents the end of year party. Today we're going to be meeting a couple of the GCI members with their wives, and they refer to their wives as young ladies. We're going to be meeting a couple of them today. I'm going to be interviewing them just to get their view about what the association is doing in Nigeria to improve the Nigerian school system. Also, it's going to be a night of so much fun, music, and good food. Stay tuned. Welcome to NABN TV. We're still at the GCI Endo event. Today I have one of the members. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much.
What's your name?
My name is Fundraising Oluboale. I was in Government College Ibadan, 1972 to 1978. And I do internal medicine and infectious disease. I'm a medical doctor in Georgia now. Okay. Yes.
So what is the role of GCI in Nigeria, GCI Old Boys Association? What is your role? What are you doing to improve the educational system in Nigeria?
Well, we as old boys that passed through Government College Ibadan many years ago saw education at the peak. Then we got the best education in a very good environment. The teachers were adequate. The buildings were good, and things were right. And a lot of us, after finishing from Government College Ibadan, went to various higher institutions. Did very well. A lot of us are doctors, engineers, architects.
Wow.
In America here, we've had the first Nobel laureate from Nigeria, from Africa actually came from the Government College Ibadan.
Oh wow!
Professor Wale Soyinka. So things have just gotten very bad in the school. The government has not done a lot of service, in preserving education in Nigeria, and things have gone down. Quality of education is down. The teacher quality is down. The boarding school system that we went to, that shaped us, that formed us, have been destroyed, and we are just about getting things towards the right direction now, so that the students are exposed to good education again. Hopefully we'll be able to get them into the boarding houses, getting very good teachers, and preparing them for the future, because education is the key, to life. If you have a good education, the sky is the limit, and we as Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association of America, we're about to, work with the government and claim and do whatever we can do to see that the product of Government College Ibadan, meet up to the standard that we had when we graduated from Government College Ibadan.
So what makes GCI so great? For your information, GCI, Government College Ibadan, is a premier college. It's in the western part of Nigeria. It's a very well-known college. So what makes GCI different?
What makes GCI different? The name itself. When it was started, it was built on the fact that, the best of the best, from different parts of Nigeria. It used to be a very competitive exams to get into the school, and for you to get into Government College Ibadan, there must be something special about you.
So it was more solely on merit.
On merit, you have to have of course, the ability. I mean, students come from all parts of Nigeria, and in the good old days, we had students from the north, from the east, from the west, and it was like a melting point for all the brilliant students, in Nigeria then. Yeah. The good old days, we used to have a 5 to 7 day interview to get into the school. Yes, it was very competitive. Yes, 5 to 7 days, and all those things are things that we're trying to return back to where it was, the good old days, so that the quality of students that we get into the school, match what we were able to be, in the good old days.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm hearing that you guys call your wives young lady. Do you have your young lady with you here tonight?
Oh no, my young lady is really very sorry to not be here. This is the first time in About how many years? Many years that she's not been here. We have some other commitments, so she's representing us at other commitments, but she sends out good wishes. Her name is Folashade, and by the grace, I was the chairman for this association for the last 4 years.
Wow.
So Dr. Kubola just took over about 1.5 years ago, and I really credit his job. He's doing very well, and we're going to take this association to places, to great heights.
Thank you so much for talking to us. We really want to use this opportunity to congratulate you guys on what you're doing, and I hope that other old boys association or old girls associations are able to emulate what they're doing. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back. We're still at the GCI Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association Endo Party. I have another Old Boys Association member here. What's your name, sir?
My name is Taiwo Demuren. They call me Demure 4.
Why is that?
I'm the fourth son of the Demures that attended government college, and there's a Demure 5 from a Demure 1.
Wow. So there must be a reason why all the boys in your family are going to this school. Is this a special school or what?
Yes. Government College Ibadan is a premier school in the western region, even in the whole of Nigeria. That there were just a couple of other colleges that were well known as Government College Ibadan for a lot of good reasons. There are a lot of families like the Koya family, the Adenugas, the Oguntimeyis, that generations, their father and the kids came to Government College.
I just found out tonight that Wole Soyinka attended that school. I didn't even know.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Oh yes, there's a lot of eminent Nigerians that attended Government College. Like
Can you name any?
the old Oba of Benin,
Ooh.
was Government College old boy. There's a lot of Professor Akikungbe. I mean, I can continue to name a lot of them. Professor Akiwande, who is a professor in the U.S., and my brother, who is a professor in the U.S. too, and
What's your brother's name?
Professor Demuren,
Okay.
Ayodeji Demuren. I have Akindeko. He's an eminent contractor, building contractor in Nigeria, Western region, and so many Olutoyes. General Olutoye and his children came to Government College Ibadan, and so many other eminent Nigerians in all the fields: medicine, engineering, law. Wale Babalaki came to Government College Ibadan, and even his father and his other sibling attended Government College Ibadan.
Wow. So can you just, going back in time, just give us some of your experiences while you were in GCI?
Well, there are three things that I can tell you that I really enjoyed. One of them was the entrance interview. You have 3 days when they bring you in, and
3 days?
yes, 3 days.
Wow, that's
3 days. It's like a written interview, verbal interview, and then they see how you mix with other kids from all over the country. We're in Ibadan, we have a lot of kids that came from Lagos.
Okay.
So, and then in that 3 days, they just want to see how you're going to cope away from your family. Because at that time, a lot of us have not left our mom in a house. So, and it really helped us to grow as men. The other thing is, when you get into the school, they give you an individual who is your mentor. We call them our tier. I still don't know the real meaning of the tier, but you have a whole family in your house, and you have your grand tier, your boy, and they enlighten you about the school. They give you information, and then you also have to do what they call a house test, which is different to the regular English, biology, that you have to do. So that really were things that people look up to, and is helping us today, because when you see somebody and they say my tier, people are looking around and say, what is he talking about? But we understand. That is our lingo. We have a lot of lingo things.
Is that kind of like the school father thing? Or?
Yes, it's kind of a school father. But we are very special. We don't call it school father. It's my tio. So,
That's interesting.
Yes.
So, what advice do you have for any other old boys or old girls association? Because I see you guys are very united and you're making a difference. You're trying to rebuild, you're trying to help the students who are currently in GCI right now. What advice do you have for other old boys association or old girls association for that matter? How they can come together and try to help their alma mater?
Well, my advice even for ours is to continue to help the young. Education is the best thing that you can ever give to somebody. Nobody can ever take that away from them. So in as much as possible, government college, in my opinion, has helped us. He has shaped me into the man I am now. He's helped me raising my kids. And whatever I can give back, and we as individuals can give back to the school, I think is a good thing to do. We have to not to be selfish. We have to be able to give back to the school that helped us.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the GCI Government College Ibadan Endo party tonight. Today I have another member of GCI Old Boys Association. What is your name, sir?
Koyi Adenuga is my name, and I was in GCI in September of 1973. Swanston House.
Wow, you still remember the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us the experiences you had as a young boy in GCI?
As a young boy in GCI, well, it was a little scary, because you were away from home. But it was a home away from home, because we had what you call a school family. You get into GCI and you are a Form 4 boy. You appointed a Form 4 boy who takes over as your school teacher, as your mentor, who teaches you the ropes. He protects you and just guides you. And when you have any problem, you can always go to him and let him know what's going on. If there's anybody bullying you or dogging you, you can always go to your tio. We called it your tio, and you could always go to your tio and talk to your tio about it. Your tio was like your older brother.
Oh, your school father?
Like your school father, like a big brother, school father. We never called it school father, just that wasn't our thing,
I've heard that word tio tonight a lot.
Yes, it was your school teacher, and he taught you everything about the school. He was there to protect you. He looked out for you. If you were hungry, you went to him, and he was there to just help you out. We like Demoran had mentioned earlier, we had to take a house test. The house test was a test of your the tradition there, the rules. It taught you about those who had been there before us. Like in Swanston House, we had who you call from the, if I can remember, in Swanston House, we had a victorious captain where Swanston House won in 1941, Swanston House won all the sports, tournaments. And the captain for Swanston House then was Cyprian Equincy, the famous writer. And when you took the house test, you were asked the question, who was the victorious captain, who was labeled the victorious captain.
Wow.
He apparently, interestingly, it was in my father's set, the 1936 set. My father was there in 1936.
Oh, wow.
And, like Demoran, I had other brothers, my older brother, my late brother, Leke was there, my older brother, Juwan, my junior brother, Bolan, so we all went to Government College Ibadan, and I guess that was what you did if your father attended government college. And I think that was one of the best decisions that was made for me, ensuring, because I had the option of going to Igbobi College, but my father insisted, and I actually wanted to go to Igbobi College, but my father insisted I was going to government college, and I have no regrets.
Wow.
Today.
So it kind of I've heard that word tier a lot today. Kind of, to me, feels like a mentorship. Do you think that mentorship is missing in today's educational system? Because that mentorship is probably what got you guys through those days in school. That probably made you the man that you are today. Do you think that mentorship is missing in today's educational system?
Yes, I mean, in any system you need a mentor, be it in business. In education, you needed a tutor, at least a mentor, and your mentor was, would guide you through, would teach you the ropes, would help you, and it was somebody you can always go and bear your heart to, and get tips from, and that was what it was, and we all had tutor. Not only did you have a tutor, your tutor you also in your class had somebody referred to as your boy, so you were all in the same family. So like my tutor was Leah Thompson, and my boy in my class in Form 1 together was Shongoawa and Komea Jobo, and I still remember that till today.
That's amazing.
Close to so many years later, 40 years later.
Wow.
Well,
thank you so much for talking to us. I'm really impressed by almost everyone I've interviewed, because I've heard that only the best of the best attended GCI. So I'm very proud of all of you, and I'm hoping that other old boys and girls associations, they would emulate what you're doing. So thank you so much for talking to NABN TV, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right, welcome back to NABN TV Red Carpet event. We're still at the Endo party, which is being organized by GCI, Old Boys Association of North America. GCI meaning Government College Ibadan. I have another member here of the GCI Old Boys Association. Sir, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Olumide Amoleomo.
So what year can you tell us the year that you attended and when you graduated?
I got in 71 and I graduated 75. Over 45 years ago, something like that.
That's amazing. And they all still look like they're like young boys. They refer to their girls as young girls, so they're all young boys. So can you just give us a little bit of a synopsis of how life was in GCI?
For me, GCI was a shock. I grew up, a pampered little boy, being driven to school, being driven to elementary school, we used to call it primary school, and I got to GCI my first time away from home. I mean, I didn't know how to handle myself. I couldn't even make my own bed. So you can imagine the kind of shock at 11 years old, showing up in this place and be totally responsible for myself. I mean, my son is 15 years old now, and I don't even think he can take care of himself. So it was a real shock, especially the regimented, top-down culture of GCI, where somebody is your senior by 1 year, and he's your lord and master. You dare not disobey him or go contrary to him or anything. Anyway, it basically toughened me up really quickly, and till today I value the discipline I learned from the school. Till today I instinctively obey the law, because that was knocked into me in GCI. I mean, if you say don't cross the lawn or don't do this, that's what I do instinctively. I do not flout any rules whatsoever, and that's the main thing I learned in that school. So discipline.
In essence, the experiences you gained while you were in GCI shaped your life.
Exactly.
If you were living in Nigeria today, would you ensure that your son attended GCI?
Well, not in the state the school is in right now. Okay. Unfortunately, we have the government, has completely neglected the school. So the school is in a total state of disrepair.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so, my son is 16 now. I wouldn't have sent him there. It's totally sad, but that's just the truth. I mean, I have to. At that time, this year was the best school around, period.
I heard.
So,
I was still a baby.
Yeah, so, our parents who were, sort of well-to-do and in a position to send their children to the best schools, they send their children to GCI, Queen School, all these other, really elite schools because they could afford to do so. So unfortunately, the school as it is right now is not an elite school anymore.
But my question is, what is the GCI Old Boys Association doing?
We are trying to restore the school to where it used to be. We're trying to bring it back to an elite school. That is the whole purpose of all what we're doing here. You know, you can see why we feel so pained just to see the school fall into such a state of disrepair. So we are all, that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to see if we can even if we get to half of what GCI used to be, it will be a tremendous contribution to Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot about GCI just talking to you for this few minutes. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your evening. Meanwhile, do you have your young girl with you tonight?
Oh, yes.
They all refer to their wives as young
Most
girl.
definitely.
Okay, can you shout out to your young girl?
Hi, Uchente.
All right, thank you so much. Enjoy your
Thank
evening.
you.
All right.
Welcome back. We're still at the GCI Old Boys Association event, the Endo event. From what I found out, it's a 3-day event, and today is the grand finale. Can you give us a breakdown of what happens within the 3 days?
Endo is a very 3-day. It's like you said, it's a 3-day event. What happens the first day is welcome, and then there'll be some kind of night reception, and we had that 2 days ago. And then the second day is a annual general meeting in the morning, and that takes a few hours because a lot of issues are discussed as to how to help the school, and a lot of other issues projects that the old boys are working on. Then in the afternoon there'll be some lunch, and then in the evening there will be the Endo party, which is the night party that ushers the end of the program. Then on the third day will be some visits to the neighboring areas, maybe any
Place of interest.
places of interest.
Yeah.
Yes, places of interest, and where people want to go. And then the last day is send off. So.
Okay, so can you give us a breakdown of some of the efforts that GCI Old Boys Association is making to ensure that the school, because I'm hearing that the school is not in a good shape. So can you just tell our viewers some of the efforts you're making or your association is making to improve the lives of the students, right? Yes.
Thanks for giving me that opportunity. The school is in a very bad state of disrepair, and the quality of the students has gone down, the quality of the infrastructure has gone down. So what we're doing is to try to raise a GCI educational fund, to raise money to be able to fix the infrastructure, the roads, the schools, the buildings, the equipment, like the lab equipment for the science classes, and then to be able to also hire quality teachers. Because without quality teachers, we will not be able to produce quality students.
That's true.
And so that's a goal, to be able to go back to the high point where GCI was before, which has gone down over the ages, to go back to its original. It used to be one of the best schools in Nigeria.
I've heard.
Yes, and it has produced quite a lot of distinguished people.
Can you name some?
Wale Soyinka, the first Nobel Prize winner.
I just found out, yeah.
He's an old boy, just Government College Ibadan. Professor Tayo Akinwande from MIT in engineering is also an old boy. There are so many old boys. I can't even remember all of the names, but many of them in distinguished positions in the country and all over the world.
So I've asked everyone that I've interviewed today. I've heard from all of you that your wives are referred to as young girls. Is your young girl here tonight?
Unfortunately, she's not able to make it tonight.
Can you give her a shout out?
Hi, young girl. Tell her, sorry we are missing you here, but we'll get to see you soon.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and I really want to congratulate your organization for at least spearheading these efforts of wanting to better that school and the people who are attending, because GCI is a premier college and we want it to remain a premier college. Thank you so much.
One of my motivations is that I got a lot from Government College Ibadan, and I'm willing to give back to it. And to train the next generation.
Yes.
Because we don't want to lose such a good jewel.
Yes.
It's a jewel of education in Africa.
Thank you so much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to NABN TV Red Carpet event. We're still at the GCI Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association Ender event. I have another member of this association. What is your name, sir?
Adeoye Roluga.
What year did you attend GCI?
I entered in 63.
Wow. What were your experiences in GCI as a young boy?
Well, as a young boy, I felt quite fortunate to have been given admission to a prestigious school, like Government College, Ibadan, and like most of us, I tried to make the most of it.
So, just to compare your experiences then and what you think it is now, and judging with the school system in Nigeria, what do you think is missing, or what do you think we're lacking in the Nigerian educational system?
There's a lot that we're lacking. First of all, Government College Ibadan was set up along the standards of Eton College in London.
Okay.
And it was designed as a school not only offering quality education, but offering well-rounded education. You know, students were expected to have good communication skills. They were expected to have good numerical skills. They were expected to do well in sports. They were also expected to behave with honor and integrity, and generally to aspire to be good citizens. So if you compare that to what is happening now, now you have a lot of private educational institutions who put all the emphasis on academic excellence, but no moral training of any sort, not much emphasis on sport, not much emphasis on anything really other than academics. And of course, it's only a small portion of society that can afford to pay the ridiculous fees in those private institutions. Majority of schools are just like an assembly line kind of educational provision where you put garbage in and garbage out. They don't even care for people to have passing grades to go from one grade to another. You know, it's you're supposed to spend 3 years in junior school, you spend 3 years, you're gone. You're supposed to spend 3 years in senior school, you spend 3 years, you're gone. And then what you have are people who went through high school and are basically non-functioning illiterates, I would say. You know, some would want to be charitable and say they are functional illiterate. These are non-functioning illiterates. I remembered, for instance, after I went back to Nigeria from the US with a bachelor's and a master's degree, I was an advertisement manager in a newspaper, and I was in a position to employ other university graduates as marketing executives. And I could not believe I had people in front of me that were university graduates of Nigerian institutions whose English was so bad that even when I was in Form 1 in Government College Ibadan, they wouldn't have made it. And how they graduated from the universities, I just don't know. So that's how bad things are. And unfortunately, our alma mater did not escape that. You know, we had the misfortune of having a governor who did not understand that even though some people said, well, Government College was an elite institution and there is no room for elitism and all of that. The truth of the matter is that you need model schools, whether you call them elitist or whatever, to serve as a benchmark for academic excellence and to give aspiration to other institutions to want to do well. You know, but all of that was destroyed during the period between 1979 and present day. You know, but fortunately, the current governor of Oyo State, after over 35 years of agitation with various government officials, they finally agreed to a public-private partnership, you know, to allow the Government College Old Boys Association to have a significant stay in the running of the school. And now we're, you know, trying to mobilize the old boys, raise significant amount of money to do a proper intervention and begin to turn things around.
Thank you so much for that detailed explanation. Just one more question. Now, today I heard about Theo, which is kind of like the godfather or school father or whatever that is called, and it kind of felt like a mentorship. Do you think that is missing in today's educational system? Because a lot of people have said here today that their Theo, when they were in school, kind of was like a mentor to them, kind of helped shape them, taught them right from wrong, was just there for them. Do you think we're missing that core value of having someone to look up to as a mentor in the Nigerian educational system?
Theo, the way we use it, is actually an abbreviation for teacher.
No.
Yes. So when
You're the first who said that today.
Oh yeah.
He's smart, everyone.
So when you come into the school, you are assigned a school teacher. Okay, but the students themselves abbreviated that, in a kind of a term of endearment, and started saying my teacher.
I'm glad you said that.
They said my teacher.
Yeah.
So, but that's what it is.
Okay.
You come in. They appoint a school teacher for you. Usually, the school teacher is 2 years your senior.
Yes.
So he's been through the process. He understands the culture and the traditions of the schools, understands all the rights and wrongs, do's and don'ts, and he is kind of responsible for you in a way, because if you're badly behaved, it's going to reflect on your tier. So you try, to listen and assimilate the norms and the cultures so that you don't become an embarrassment to your tier. And of course, since this thing goes from generation to generation, there is a line that actually defines your school family, from the tier for a Form 1 to the tier for a Form 2 to the tier for a Form 3, who is now probably in Form 5, all the way to up 6. So there's a family support system in a way that also helps the student, and it helps the student across the board. It's not just in understanding the school rules, it's in things like I'm weak in math, my tier is good in math, so it helps me with my homework. I'm being bullied by another senior, so I go to my tier, who may be his classmate or maybe a year his senior, and he says, this is my boy, cut it out. Things like that. So it helps, greatly, and it may not have been something that was unique to our school, but in our school, we really made it work for the betterment of the students. Because I know in other schools they have what they call school fathers. So whenever you use the term father or godfather, like you started out, so the word was teacher, and then the students themselves kind of abbreviated it. Oh, my tier, my tier.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think every other school should emulate that. The fact that it's called a teacher. Yes. Just tells you this is someone who you're going to learn from. It's not just someone who's there to protect you, but someone who's going to teach you and lead you to excellence. Yes. Thank you so much. This was very interesting, very informative. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Welcome back to NABN TV Red Carpet event. We're still at GCI Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association Endo event. I have another member of this Old Boys Association. What is your name, sir?
Yomi Jones.
What year did you graduate from GCI?
I went in 1963 and I finished my A-level in 1969.
So, I know. I've heard that from a couple of your GCI Old Boys Association members that the school is in a very bad shape. Can you tell us what you're doing to improve this?
Thank you very much for that question. It's basically one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm actually based in Lagos, and I'm the chairman of the Educational Foundation of Government College Ibadan.
Okay.
And why are we doing this? It's a long story. We went to the school sometimes in 1992, and we saw the state of disrepair in the school, and that really made a lot of us to weep. And it was quite a sad event, because Government College is one of the real schools, real boarding houses, the real schools that we had in those days. The school that produced the likes of Dr. Christopher Kolade, the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, Professor Akikugbe, and all the others. And with a stand, we came in, and it was you go into the school, you are taught everything. You are taught everything, and the key issue is that graduating, you are sure of a bright future.
Wow.
Yes, you were sure, but when we went there, all the buildings were more or less state of disrepair. The school itself, the standards that we had, we didn't find it any longer there. And we now made up our mind that, look, listen, whatever we can do, let us bring back Government College Ibadan to the good old days.
My question is, why is Nigerian educational system lagging behind? Because for the government to even allow this to happen, for such a premier school with all these dignitaries and people of excellence to have graduated from the school, there must be a reason why there's so many of you people or you guys who graduated from there are doing well. The school was great. So can you just articulate what is going on with Nigerian educational system that the government is thinking it's okay to let such a school or such an alma mater fall apart?
I think one of the things that I feel personally that went wrong is that this political concept of free education, what you cannot build, why do you destroy it?
Exactly.
So in as much as possible, you should keep that which you add, so that is good, so that others can emulate. You see, unfortunately, in fact, there was no exams to go into the schools. You just take a catchment area and you just drive all the guys in. Okay, go and do a 6-3-3 system, and that was it. The 3-3 is the secondary school part of it, but then you forgot that education is the future. Education is the main thing for the average person to build a brighter future.
That is true.
But now what has happened is that there's too much of emphasis on everything must be private. You see, over the years, government was you were privatizing everything. You even privatized education. The university standard is zero. You go to the restroom in some of the universities, say, is this a restroom? Is this supposed to be part of it for university? Not to now talk of a secondary school with a good pedigree like Government College Ibadan.
Yes.
Everything was allowed to deteriorate, to go in total disrepair, and this is what made us very sad. And as a group, we said, look, sorry, each and every one of us must see to it that we contribute something towards the revitalization of the school.
So you said earlier that you're the chairman of the
Educational Foundation, yes.
So
to raise funds, our first target is about 250 million naira.
Oh, good.
Yes, we are already.
Are you getting close?
We're already doing fairly very well about that, and we want to use. But then the most important thing is that we needed a buy-in from the government, and when the government created this PPP, private-public partnership, we were very happy about it, because then we were all moving, and then we now say, okay, we have a say in what is Government College Ibadan. Yes.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for that. It's just, I'm really proud of your association, because there's some other old boys or old girls association who know that their schools in Nigeria are in disrepair, or in the state of disrepair. They are maybe in the US or maybe in the UK, and they're not even thinking of giving back, because education is the key to success and key to being a better person. Just without education, you can't get too far. So I'm really, really proud of the association. I want to congratulate you guys, and I wish the association much luck in trying to bring back GCI.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. We hope when we send out some letters, and you get some also, you get some funds for us. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Welcome back to NABN TV Red Carpet event. We're still at the GCI Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association in North America Endo party. I have another member of the GCI Old Boys Association. What is your name, sir?
Olushe Yarowolo, 1985 set, Powell House, 6006 school number.
Wow, you remember all this information.
That's what being a GCI old boy. That's what it means.
What is great about GCI? Because I've been hearing all this talks about GCI is the best. It was a premier college.
It's the full package. GCI is an iconic college in Nigeria. I mean, one of the oldest, and it touches on the education, the learning, the sporting, the preparation for life, and a great future. In fact, the school song is what is most inspiring for me, because I've surveyed all kinds of school songs and I don't see anyone that comes close to the kind of wordings that we have in our school song. School of our pride, built on the rock, by order, justice, and fair play rule. May what we dare to learn from thee, you'd be our guidelight throughout our lives. School of our pride, built on the rock, service to others, not to self. Consideration for, the wordings are just generations shall come and go, you know, but our pride in you will forever remain. Maybe not in the confines of your walls, but in the alumni world renown. So, my generation, we have 3 generations of graduates of government college. The first 25 years, the second 25 years. I belong to the third 25 years, which started from 1979 to 2004. So, and we are on another epoch of another 25. So there will be a 4th generation. So, and we have benefited so much for a very strong network of the Old Boys Association. And so it's a clarion call when the Old Boys felt that, look, we cannot allow the decrepit condition of the school to continue, and there's a clarion call to every set. Right now we will have more than 75 class sets from GCI if you look at the years of admission starting from 1929. So every set of GCI Old Boys are required to really respond to this clarion call and heed the assistance for the alma mater.
So would you say your experiences as a young boy in GCI shaped your life?
Oh, yes, because look, everything was driven by merit. Everything was driven by competition. Everybody was looking at what position. You're either first to third, in any subject. Each of the subjects you have a position, not overall, and then you now come down to overall position. So it was a very competitive. In fact, my set in 1985, we were very, very competitive. Nobody was dominating the class in each of the hams till we finished. So it was a very, very competitive environment, and this was a culture that we think needs to be passed on. Is a tradition that we want to keep alive, that the current generation or present generation of GCI should know about the competitiveness and the need to put themselves under pressure to deliver of quality and excellence.
So my question to you is, you talked about competitiveness. Do you think that's lacking now in the educational system in Nigeria?
The overall external environment within the educational system in Nigeria, I do not see. I think there was for me, I began to sense the heaving away of the standards right from the way the 6334 system was implemented. Before, a teacher could come to the class to test your knowledge without giving you any advance notice, which kept all of us always prepared. You were always reading your books. Then all of a sudden that changed to when they give you a particular day that a test must be had, and I felt that did not really drive competitiveness. So from that point of view, I think everything fell to the dogs going forward, and the less emphasis that government was placing on education was not really encouraging of a shift in that direction.
So just finally, what would be your advice, or to a GCI old boy who's not a member of this association, what would you say to them?
Everybody that has either been admitted to GCI or graduated from GCI is an automatic member of the Old Boys Association. However, what we will say to those who have not been participating actively, what we will say to those who have been sitting on the fence, is that there is no basis, there is no justification for sitting on the fence. We are all Siamese twins. They are all part of our history. They cannot eliminate GCI from their history. GCI cannot eliminate them from its own history.
Exactly.
So we will appreciate if they put all their hands on deck. They cannot participate physically. They can participate financially. They can participate morally. People are donating books. People are installing e-learning programs in the libraries. You can find something to do, to assist the Old Boy Association to restore the pride of GCI.
But just to add, if you had somebody who was not an Old Boys Association, or maybe is not a member, and is willing to help out, how do they do this?
Everybody is in a set. Every every single person is in a set.
No, I mean like somebody who never attended GCI but feels the need to help support.
Why
this
not?
cause. How
Because
can they do this?
We are structured. I mean, for instance, you are familiar with that everybody has a branch. I'm here. I work in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria. I stay in Nigeria. But because I love the opportunity that the end of year program, annual end of year program in North America, the annual end of year program in Europe provides for me to even seniors that I've never met. I mean, we get to network, we get to rub minds, we get to, we close ranks. So for me, it's an opportunity that I cherish a lot. So I feel that anybody who is not a graduate of GCI or never been admitted to GCI, who really wanted to, for the cause of education, for the cause of promotion of education in Africa, we have all kinds of foundations that have nothing, no connection to Africa, but are supporting the cause of education in Africa. So it can be part of whatever we are doing, either through our platform or through some other platforms that are available. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we're glad you came from Nigeria to support your Old Boys Association. Do you want to give a shout out to your young girl, which is what the way they refer to their wives?
Well, I've been asked several questions why you were not with me, exigencies. So, but I've missed you. I know you are also missing me, but I'm going to see you next week. Thumbs up to NABN TV. You guys are doing a swell job. Keep it up. Quality and excellence being your watchword. Thank you
so much. Yes. Thank you. Very good. So I've heard a lot of talks tonight about the GCI Old Boys Association trying to raise funds. I spoke to the chairman of the educational fund in Nigeria. He came all the way from Nigeria. So can you give us some more specifics of what GCI Old Boys Association plans to do with some of this money that's being raised to help the current students?
Well, there's a national body. There's a national educational fund who I happen to be a member, and of course it's to support the school, to all the structures that we said, the educational system, the teaching system, the building, and just trying to bring back, what we lost, the boarding house system, and it's a lot of work to be done, and we just got to at least get our foot in the water, start making some little process and little progress, working with the government to make sure that at least we can move forward and get things going.
Welcome back to NABN TV Red Carpet event. We're still at GCI, Government College Ibadan Old Boys Association Endo event. I've heard them tonight during all the interviews refer to their wives as young girls. I have a couple of the young girls here tonight. We're going to get to know the young girls. So what's your name?
Bukola Majekodumi.
Foluke Adenuga, Koya Adenuga's wife. Swanston House, years of 73, set. School number 2716.
Listen, did you attend GCI too?
She's the real root.
What's your name?
Amanda Shokon. So my husband is Shegun Shokon. Field House, school number 2995, year of graduation, set of 1975.
Wow.
So my question is, why do you know so much? Do they talk too much about GCI?
This is all we hear about.
They overwhelm us with GCI stuff.
They're proud of the boys. They're very proud of the school.
They're very proud of the
heritage. It is infectious.
Yes.
It is
but you know
infectious.
what? To tell you this, I've interviewed majority of them. They're really smart because I've heard that GCI only accepted the best. So the best of the best attended GCI. So in short, your husbands were one of the best of the best.
Yes, we agree.
We agree.
Yes.
So what is your role as wives of GCI Old Boys Association?
Well, part of our role is when they do the Endo meeting every year, we come along as well and also play a role supporting them all along.
Yeah. And then usually there's a local chapter or a local presence. I think this is the first time that we are in Vegas where no one has a home here. And so if it's held where there's a local GCI chapter, then the wives definitely are part of the planning and providing the food. And usually on Saturday morning, the guys either play hockey or soccer or something. We go out there, we have a picnic. It's great fun.
And we're cheerleaders also.
Yeah. And we do a lot of singing, right? So you'll be hearing some of that later on today.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
We will ask for forgiveness before the singing starts because you know, the voices you hear are just going to be so phenomenal, you will not believe it.
Well, it's full of gusto. I can tell you that. I mean, the wonderful thing about the GCI Old Boys thing is, it's like no matter how old you are, you know, they get into that spirit, and then there's a competition amongst the houses for the, you know, the loudest, most boisterous singing. It's a lot of fun.
When they start, it's like it takes them all the way back to GCI. It's like they never left, they're still there.
Yes.
And even though we did not attend GCI, we attended some awesome schools. We won't tell them our schools were a lot better than GCI, but we don't, you know, we try to let them feel like GCI was the best. But, you know, the guys really, really love their school, and we, as their wives, as their partners, as their supporters, you know, we want to do everything to support them in elevating their school and bringing back the glory that the school. My father-in-law went to GCI, you know, and all the boys went to GCI.
Your husband mentioned that.
Yes, so it's obviously a school that had tradition.
Yes.
And the boys are trying to bring the tradition back. And as wives and as supporters, we're there to help them, you know, in bringing back the tradition.
Just, you know, just to go back, a few of the guys I interviewed, it's almost like asking them about GCI. I took them back to those days when they were teenage boys. So I love to see that when they talk about GCI, they still remember those days. Like not a lot of people, because a lot of people had bad experiences in high school. So some people don't want to remember what they experienced, but for them, majority of the interviews that I've done tonight, it just took them back to those good old days. So it's amazing to see.
Yeah, how about it? It even goes as far as the children. So I don't know if it's the same for your children. Both of our children, they know the songs. They've heard so much about this school. They can sing along. They know about the houses and the stories, and it's really great to be part of something that's so memorable that you're willing to just keep passing it on, you know. And how can we be resistant to that?
When our kids were little, we would come to the GCI events with them. And I remember there was a year my son came out and sang one of the school songs alongside with his father, because, you know, when we travel, like Amanda said, on long trips,
in the car,
you know, most people would listen to nursery rhymes and all. Our kids had to sing GCI songs.
Yes, oh Caroline. One man went to more, you know, all the school songs.
Yes, so everybody was kind of brought into the GCI spirit, you know. So, and it wasn't done in a way that was offensive or anything. We loved it. It made us feel part of what they grew up with, part of their youth, you know. So it was interesting.
But just one last thing, just having spoken to a few of your husbands here, a lot of them are kind of saddened by the fact that the school is in a disrepair state right now. How does that make you feel, knowing that your husbands all love their alma mater, and then this premier college is not doing well?
Well, I think part of it is with this kind of end-of-year activities they do, they send the money home, also trying to have liaisons with the Nigerian community. I think all of them are aware of that, and they really want to bring it back to the glory that they knew, and also to give the younger generations more, you know, the history. So I think they're working on it. A lot of known people in Nigeria went through the school as well.
Yes, I've heard.
So I think that's what they're building. You know, they're building towards to restore the school back to the way it used to be.
So how proud of you of your husbands are you? Like you're really proud of them because they're making a difference.
We are extremely proud of our husbands and of the GCI boys in general, because, like Buki said, yes. Unfortunately, it's not just GCI. You know, a lot of schools in Nigeria, we've seen this happen to.
My alma mater, for that matter.
Yeah, we've seen this happen. But the fact that the GCI old boys have decided to get up and do something, you know, is what matters. And every little step that is made makes an impact on the school and the future of the next generation coming in. And so, with God's help,
Yes.
we trust that the school will come back.
Amen to
You
that.
know.
I think it is worth saying though that this should be sort of like a warning, a wake-up call for us in Nigeria, right? We're so quick to be very, to be cavalier about the things that we do, to be cavalier about the things that we do and not think about the unintended consequences, right? We should do a better job of cherishing history and
Yes.
things that are meaningful and passing on legacies to our children. So there is that one side of it. The other side is, I love the way that they never lose hope. Every year we turn up, they find some project or something to do to help and to help the school, and just not. They could have said, well, it's no longer the school that we went to.
Yes.
We're just going to leave it alone. But they're just so steadfast. And so last year, these three ladies, these two sisters of mine and I, we decided to support our husbands by actually contributing, because usually they only levy the GCI holders. So last year we started the Ruth Fund, right? So Ruth in the Bible, the wife.
That's why you refer to as the 3 Ruths.
Yes.
Okay, now you hear that?
So I have a feeling that we did that last year as a one-off. I have a feeling it's a pattern now. So we're the Ruths that will continue doing our best to support us.
And hopefully we'll be able to grow the Ruth as well.
Including other wives.
To a group of more than 3.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I want to congratulate you guys for being so supportive and being supportive wives, because a lot of women were like, well, that's not my school. I have nothing to do with it. So I really, really commend you guys for doing what you're doing, and just hoping that other Old Boys or Old Girls Association can emulate GCI, Old Boys Association, and just remember where you came from, and just remember to give back. You have to give back. To whom much is given, yes. To whom much is given, much is expected and required from you. So thank you so much, and you guys all look amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to Vivian. She's the CEO of Wonderfully Made Designs in New Jersey. Thank you for my dress. I'm gonna be hooking you up with the sisters right here, so look out for it. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Enjoy your evening.